Welcome back, Collective. If this resonates with you, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button. Give me a like, follow. Today, I want to talk about shame and what shame looks like when you grow up in a broken system and a broken home with a lot of trauma. When I was a little girl, I was hurt. Sexually, I was hurt. And what that did to me was left me feeling dirty. It left me feeling shame. It left me feeling guilt. It made me feel like I was dirty. And the narrative that we tell children is that you are dirty. We tell children you're a liar. We tell children that never happened. We tell children all kinds of things that make it so that adults don't have to take accountability and responsibility for what they have done to children. When I was a kid, a little girl, I was touched inappropriately. I was licked inappropriately. I was kissed inappropriately. I had objects inserted into my body where they shouldn't be. And some of those objects were attached to men or women or other kids in the system. And what I learned over time by being called a liar, by being shamed, by being guilted, was to suppress that. To suppress all of the harm that was done to me so that they didn't have to be held accountable. And as an adult, what that did to me was left me feeling more shame, more guilt. Like I couldn't speak of it because some of the acts were so horrific. I was embarrassed as an adult to speak on things that were done to me as a child. And then I started working in the system, and I would have conversations with kids who would come to me and talk to me about these things. And what I would always tell them is, this isn't your fault. You were a child. You were supposed to be protected. And it wasn't until I started writing my book and talking about my childhood and doing these videos that I was able to now speak on it without shame and guilt and feeling gross, feeling like I was the problem. I now can look at it from an adult perspective and say, that was not my fault. That was the adults in my life's fault for not protecting me. I now can speak on it regularly. I can have open conversations about the abuse that I suffered. And I hope that with me speaking on it, because I know that I'm not the only one, I know that there are all kinds of people out there who have suffered horrible things and who still have shame and guilt around those things. And what I want to say is the conversation needs to happen. The conversation needs to be open. We need to be able to talk about these things in an open forum so that we stop it before it gets to the point of harm, before it gets to the point of suicide, before it gets to the point of addiction, before it gets to the point of self-deprecation, truly. So, again, if this resonates with you, I would love to have a conversation about it with anybody. I think it's so important that we have these conversations. I think it's so important that we get them out in the open. It's so important that we are able to communicate back and forth with one another about things like this so that we can remove the shame from it. We can remove the secrecy from it, because that's exactly what it is. When you hold secrets around the types of abuses that children suffer, what you're doing is hurting that child. You are hurting that adult. You are hurting yourself. So having these conversations, being open and honest about them, is not only going to help you, but it's going to help somebody else. Love and light.